Hello, what culture? My name is Simon Miller, and if you didn't tune into Raw yesterday, look, we've moved house. Not a real thing when you're talking about videos, but we've got a brand new backdrop, we've got a brand new set, and because you're watching SmackDown ups and downs, everything's all blue, and if you go back and watch the Raw one, it will be all red. That's how the world works when we're talking about professional wrestling. Also, just realized I'm wearing red today. Didn't think this through, but I'm an idiot. So a big shout out to my man Phil at WhatCulture who made all this possible. And also, look at this, I'm gonna summon it down early. That's the Millertron 5000. I mean, who knows what a Millertron 5000 is, but I don't care, because it sounds badass. And also, this is the last time I'll mention it in this kind of context. We also have a new intro, and it makes me laugh. So yes, this is WhatCulture. My name is Simon Miller. Hey, let's up those downs. SmackDown Live started with the New Day coming to the ring, and I'm pretty sure that is what we do at the start of every episode nowadays, so that's a little bit weird, but the twist that changed this time, of course, was the Big Show has now teamed up with The Bar, so when these two teams clash at Crown Jewel, not only will there be a man in the New Day's corner, but the 7-footer will also be backing up Sheamus and Cesaro. This led into Kofi Kingston versus the Big Show, and it was alright, it was fine, but a small part of me was like, do I really need to see, do I need to see The Bar versus the New Day for the umpteenth time? And does putting the Big Show into that actually make it more spicy? I don't think it does. Down. Big Show chokeslammed Kofi 3 times before that just pissed everybody off, so they all ran in and eventually the heels took advantage of the faces. But you tell me, there's a comment box below, did this really get you excited for anything on SmackDown or anything that's happening or not happening at Crown Jewel, depending on what's going on with that crazy show? I don't even know what that noise was, but it ain't doing anything for me. And also, because you have Sheamus and Cesaro come out, and then the Big Show follows them, which means the Big Show's theme is the last one you hear, seeing Sheamus and Cesaro doing their poses to that stupid Big Show theme, that doesn't work at all. It was ridiculous. We then recapped all the Roman Reigns stuff from Raw, and with that said, the last thing we should do now is just forget about what's happened or move on from it. And in fact, we should make sure the conversation continues to be had, because one, I'm sure Roman Reigns or Joanna White needs all the prayers and well wishes that he can get, and two, that's just a good thing to do, really. We should talk about cancer, we should talk about leukemia, we should donate any money we can to those causes, because we're human beings and we should try and help other human beings out. That's just how I see it. Let's get on with the show. And I was surprised to see for the second week in a row we aren't getting the Usos taking on Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, but I kind of like how this was played out. Get it up. The idea, or at least to me, was that Styles and Bryan wanted to prove that what happened 7 days ago was nothing but a fluke. They wanted to show they could team together and take down a team as good as Jimmy and Jay. And unfortunately, they went and screwed it all up again like a couple of morons. AJ Styles almost smashed Daniel Bryan in the face with the phenomenal forearm, but then he did hit him with the Pele kick, and as you can imagine, that just caused a whole world of trouble for the world champion and his number one contender. The Usos took advantage. There was a big splash, kapow, like that. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles lost again. What you stupid idiots. There was some fallout from all this too, because in the backstage area, Daniel Bryan was insinuating to AJ Styles, I don't think you did that by accident, pal. In fact, I think you did it on purpose. Then he started doing Pinocchio nose, and while that sounds ridiculous, Daniel Bryan actually pulled it off, especially because at one point when AJ Styles says, what are you doing? Daniel Bryan switched it and he did the too sweet sign, and he sarcastically, did all of AJ Styles' lines. That was really good. Well done, Daniel Bryan. You made me go woohoo, which is what I do when I enjoy something on WWE TV. It's not true. I've never done that in my entire life, and I'm never going to, because I'm not a crazy person. I tell you too, when it comes to creativity between the Charlotte and Becky Lynch feud, WWE is smashing it out the park. Something different happens on every single episode of SmackDown, and it's not just boring, we're doing an in-ring segment. Now we're going to do a backstage segment, because here they went to the Performance Center. Like it up. Charlotte was giving some advice to the NXT rookies before, of course, Becky Lynch arrived and said, why listening to her? She don't got no gold over her shoulder. She ain't the champ. You should listen to me. Otherwise, you're going to be a big loser like Charlotte Flair. And of course, Charlotte was like, that's not nice, don't be mean to me, and they had a big brawl. It ended by cutting to a Charlotte promo where she made it clear that she is going to win at Evolution, and not only will she be standing over the champion, but also a friend who lost her way. And that's great, Charlotte, but even though you want to do that, you're still going to get booed. I don't know what happened to my voice there. It went up and down like, I don't know, like a weird yo-yo. That was strange. And the colour is starting to change in this room because not only do I smell a down, I smell a brown down, and that's what happens when WWE all over my face. I regret saying that too straight away. I don't want to talk about WWE in my face, and that's what I've done. I let myself down. I hate the brown down. Just want you to know that I hate it. I mean, I listened to you guys, you wanted it, so I've given it to you, but I don't like it. But either way, Aiden English versus Rusev, brown down. Because after weeks of good TV and a pretty well put together build, WWE did just decide to have these two people face off on a random episode of SmackDown, and Aiden English lost in around about 2 minutes. Why did I waste my life giving this my time? I should have just taken a hot poker and stuck it in my face. You could argue that it wasn't fair because Lana did throw a shoe at English, and that allowed Rusev to hit the matchka kick and then apply the accolade for the win. But that's it now. What do? You can't do it again. It's over. It's dusted. It's finished. Move on. So more for me for actually caring about any of this. I'm gonna go stick my arm in the fire so I learn a lesson. That's what I'm gonna punish myself. World Wrestling Entertainment, if that is your real name, which it is, I'm going to punish myself so in future I remember, don't buy into this crap. It's back to the ups though, because everything between Rey Mysterio and The Miz, it was just fun. As we know, I like fun. Getting up. It kicked off with Miz TV as Miz served as basically a Cliff Note version for everything that happened on SmackDown Live 7 days ago, and then he invited his guest to the ring, which was Rey Mysterio. But before Rey could barely say anything, Miz said, look, you haven't been here for a while, so just remember this. Nobody cares about the lovable underdog anymore. They want larger-than-life characters like me, The Miz. Rey then dropped a pretty good line when he said he was disappointed this wasn't Truth TV. That annoyed The Miz. They had a match, and of course Rey won, because you can't have Mysterio come back to SmackDown only a week ago and then have him lose. I mean, what kind of world would we be living in then? Like I say, just an enjoyable 15 minutes or so. Miz is a great heel. Rey is a great babyface, even more so, because now back in the ring, he looks like his old amazing self. Just a nice, lovely little segment that flew by like a choo-choo train. We then tried to promote the Battle Royal that's going to be going down at Evolution, but I don't think we did a very good job of it. It felt like a big mess down. It was meant to be Naomi and Asuka taking on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, but that never happened because Carmella came out, Lana came out, the Iconics came out, Zelina Vega came out. They all had a mini scrap in the ring, and yes, eventually it was the Empress of Tomorrow who stood tall at the end of it. Did this make me want to see that Battle Royal at Evolution? No. Shane McMahon was out next though. Cool. Up. Much like the previous segment, it was just a glorified advert, as he did put over Evolution and remind everyone that the first ever WWE World Cup is coming up at Crown Jewel, if Crown Jewel actually happens. The best part of this was the fans started chanting CM Punk because Shane McMahon kept mentioning the best in the world, to which Shane said, I don't think he's in the tournament. That was good. Shane hopes a SmackDown star wins it, obviously, and that segued into Jeff Hardy taking on Randy Orton. Nah, gets it up. It was just another match between these two, but it was fine. It was dandy. It ticked all the boxes. Randy Orton did more stuff with Jeff Hardy's ear because he's obsessed with it, and also he had to, really. You wouldn't go after the guy's ear in 2 different matches, and the third go, nah, I'm done with the ear now. I don't want to do that again, even though it worked wonders when I did it before. And it ended with an RKO, because apparently Jeff Hardy isn't allowed to beat Randy Orton unless somehow this is all going to tie into the World Cup. Credits rolled, SmackDown was done, and let's be honest, this was a very basic, very straightforward episode of SmackDown. I enjoyed it. It was 2 hours of my life where I got some entertainment out of it, as I always do. Draw a line under that as well. That's that. Let's move on to the Evolution pay-per-view. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of SmackDown. Like, share, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and you can follow WhatCulture on that there Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you ups and down wise in a few days' time, because we've got the first ever women's pay-per-view within the WWE, and we've got ups and downs for that. That'll be on Monday. In the meantime, keep smiling, keep watching WhatCulture wrestling videos. Well, I was hoping I just vanished then. I'm not a magician, so I don't know why I thought that would happen. Sometimes things click and it works. Let's try again. Ha! Look at that.